Hey Soup, welcome back. It's Claytano. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. And today I'm going to be teaching you guys how to rune Daphnis. Daphne, I'm just kidding. I know how to say that name. Daphne, the Fire Fairy King. In this series, I basically just go over exactly how to rune them, what they're good for, what they offer, the pros, the cons, their team strategy, and their overall rating at the very end. Keep in mind, this advice is coming from a late game type perspective, but I am going to be trying to give you guys perspective of how to use it early game as well. So with that in mind, let's get right to it here. And first off, what is Daphne useful for? Absolutely nothing. Say it again. No, I'm just kidding. It's really not that great of a monster. Just kind of to preface that, but it's useful in DB10, Guild War offense, and maybe arena offense, niche arena offense. The reason why I say DB10 is because it has a buff remover on it. The reason why I say Guild War offense is because it eats HP from tanks. It's good single target, nuke for that. And then the arena offense because if you need to kind of hold off people's skills, that's why it's good for that. Okay, what does it offer though? What does it really do? It offers you skill cooldown reduction by Uno. It has skill Uno buff strip, so that way you can just remove buffs, obviously, like I said, and it offers true damage. Now, true damage is kind of like just a general gamer type term. Basically, it's killing 30% of the enemy's HP no matter what, which is kind of nice. And it works on bosses too, with 15% instead, as you can see here through Hellfire. It's a cool name. But what are Daphne's pros? It actually has quite a few good pros, okay? It awakens into accuracy, so having his first skill and his second skill needing accuracy, it's actually quite nice to have that. For the second pro, I would say it's an arena crit leader skill, so if you're weak on crit rate early game, it could be useful there. Also, 3, it has the true damage. 4, it has the cooldown reduction. 5, it has the buff strip, and that's about it. Okay, so what are its cons though? What's it bad for? It has really low base speed at 98, which isn't very nice. It kills itself. I mean, come on. And then it has low base attack for an attack monster. 834 for an attack monster, single. I mean, not too great, right? But, the pros do technically outweigh the cons for Daphne. Okay, so moving on, what are the early game sets that you want to use for Daphne? Isn't Daphne a girl name? I mean, isn't it? Anyway.
Yeah.
Yes. Peanut Gallery says yes. Anyway, early game set, I would say either Fatal, if you possibly can. Swift, if you don't have Fatal. But Fatal is the main early game set that you want to use. Offset, probably Blade or Focus. Focus is nice to have that extra accuracy to cool down the reduction a little bit easier. And then for 2, 4, 6, you probably want to go Speed. Speed slot 2, crit damage or crit rate slot 4, and slot 6 go attack percent. That's pretty much it. Just build it nuke. Build it with speed because it's a slow monster anyway. If you have the substats to do attack slot 2, then do it, but early game most likely you're not going to, so build speed slot 2. Okay, as you move into late game though, you're going to want to put it on violent. And then the offset would be Will, because if you're going to be using it for Guild War offense or arena offense, Will be key. Plain and simple. Plain and simple. Okay, for 2 slot, again, speed or attack percent on that one. 4 slot's going to be crit damage or crit rate percent. And then 6 slot will be attack percent. Not bad, right? Not bad. So substat priorities, what are you going to be prioritizing? Well, if you go crit damage slot 4, make sure that you're prioritizing the crit rate stat. If you go crit rate slot 4, make sure you're prioritizing the crit damage in your substats. Also prioritize speed. The faster the better. Attack would be the next substat, accuracy, then HP, so on and so forth. Okay. For team combinations, really, it's a nice monster to have to use for skill cooldown reduction. So what you're going to want to do is have something sort of strip the monsters, so that way it has time to come back and do damage. Okay? So anybody like Triton, Galleon, Triton, Juno, Praha, Soha, anybody. You guys know the strippers in the game, okay? And then second off, Galleon would be a good arena offense type monster to use with it, so that way you can attack boost and then defense break and then land your AoE and then maybe eat somebody's HP that's still left over, or remove a buff that didn't happen to remove to prepare for a secondary nuke to go. Something like that, right? For alternatives, you have the Water Panda in terms of eating somebody's HP, and this is a much better monster than Daphne. I don't even know how they're really compared, but as far as like the eat HP skill, that's Water Panda all day. Zeros if you want a skill cooldown, of course. Chilling if you want to remove buffs, turn or skill 1, and Samath if you want to have just a completely better monster, because it has these two things and then has a better turn 3. Okay, so overall rating, I would give Daphne a 3 out of 5. It's not the worst monster in the game. You know, there's a lot of people that say, oh, Daphne sucks, it's going to stay in storage. It's really not the worst. But if you do have better options, which is easy to have better options, that's the problem, then Daphne, it kind of, you know, moves down the totem pole. But if you don't have those better options, especially early game, then by all means, use it. It's not that bad. It's not that bad. It's a Nat 5. I mean, really, how bad can a Nat 5 be? But anyway, guys, if you enjoyed this video, please leave a comment. Main thing is like and subscribe, though. If you have somebody that has a Daphne that's been struggling with it and keeping it in storage, show them this video, and hopefully it'll give them some insight on how to use it. Aside from that, guys, thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate it. As always, stay soupy, don't be potatoes. Peace later. Make videos every day. So check out the next one tomorrow, and we're almost done with fire. The next How to Rune video will be at the Fire Panda. I'm going to skip the Homunculus because it's got a lot of different things, and we'll go over that here a little bit later on down the road. But then we're going to move on to the Queen Bee, Camilla. Alright guys, thank you again, and have a great rest of your day. Thanks.